Have you considered whether the universe is your helper or your adversary? What if I told you that it depends on how you direct your thoughts and feelings? In this video, we'll talk about how the philosophy of Stoicism and the law of attraction can dramatically transform your life. Yes, that's right. These ancient ideas help you understand what you attract to you. Imagine that your thoughts are like seeds that you plant in your inner garden. If you choose to plant seeds of joy and hope, they will grow and bear the fruits of happiness. However, if you allow fears and doubts to take root, don't be surprised if your garden ends up full of weeds. The universe is always ready to give you new opportunities if you just open your heart. The Stoics taught us that while we cannot control external circumstances, we can control our attitude toward them. Are you ready to take responsibility for your destiny? It all starts with your inner world. Let's explore and develop together the life we all dream of. Each lesson can be the very breakthrough that will change your life for the better. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications so you don't miss new videos. Now let's get to the point. Thoughts and emotions shape our reality. Have you ever wondered how your thoughts and emotions shape the reality you live in? They are like the wind that fills the sails of your ship. If it's a tailwind, you sail toward your goals. If it's a headwind, your journey becomes hard and long. Let's break down exactly how this works. Stoic philosophy states that our inner peace depends on how we perceive and react to the world around us. Don't worry, we won't dive into complex theories. We'll deal with how thoughts and emotions actually affect our daily lives. Imagine that your mind is a garden. If you plant seeds of negative thoughts, like weeds, they will quickly fill the space, overshadowing the beauty. But if you take care of positive thoughts, your garden will become a blooming oasis. So it is in life. When we allow negativity to take over the mind, it becomes a source of constant worry and problems. To make this clearer, imagine yourself directing a movie. If you constantly think your project is doomed to fail, what are the chances that this negative expectation won't affect your work? It's like a screenwriter who prescribes a sad ending for himself. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not over events. However, I am not saying that by simply dreaming for the best, you will get it. The law of attraction is not magic. It's a toolkit for focusing on what really matters and taking steps towards your goals. Think of your thoughts and emotions as a compass. If it points to what you really want, you are very likely to achieve that goal. But if you keep changing direction, don't be surprised to find yourself lost. Are you navigating the rough waters of criticism or enjoying the calm sea of gratitude? Recognizing your mental patterns is the first step to changing course. If you notice that you are drifting into negativity, it's time to turn the wheel. Instead of thinking about what could go wrong, focus on what you can do to improve the situation. If health is a concern, think about steps that will help you reach your goals. Stoic philosophy reminds us that while we can't control the external world, we can control our internal state. When negative thoughts begin to storm your mind, remember, you have the power to adjust your sails and change your path. Take the first step toward positive thinking. It can change everything. Your thoughts and emotions are the tools you use to build the edifice of your life. Changing those tools can help create a stronger and more satisfying structure. As Epictetus said, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The power to shape your destiny is in your hands. Focus on what you want to make it come true. Imagine trying to create a complex pattern with just one old paintbrush. It can be quite frustrating, can't it? You have the desire to create something impressive, but all you end up with is a smear. Imagine that your desires are that pattern, and the law of attraction is that brush. Without a well-prepared brush and a clear intention, your pattern will remain indistinct. This is how important clarity in your desires is. If you are not precise, your efforts will turn into meaningless strokes, and you will not be able to achieve meaningful results. We all have dreams and goals that we strive to realize. Maybe you dream of starting your own business, mastering your culinary skills, or fixing your relationships. But if your focus is as nebulous as the phrase, "I want to change my life," you risk losing your way. The law of attraction is a well-known concept that states that thinking about what you want can lead to its realization, but it requires more than just wishing. It requires specificity. Let's look at a few examples to make things clearer. Imagine that you want to open your own cafe. If you simply say, "I want to open a cafe," the universe can direct you anywhere from a small place in a quiet alley to a bustling establishment in the city center. But if you specify that you dream of a cafe with a cozy atmosphere, a varied menu and friendly staff, your visualization will become a clear goal. You'll be able to pull in exactly the cafe you want instead of relying on chance. Similarly, if you want to master cooking, simply saying, "I want to learn to cook," is not enough. It's as vague as saying you want to read a book without specifying which one. If you say you want to learn to cook Italian food because you plan to have an Italian food night for friends, you create a much clearer goal. It will help you envision yourself in the kitchen, making delicious pastas and sauces for your loved ones. When it comes to developing a new skill, this principle still applies. It's not enough to say, "I want to learn something new." You need to be specific. What specific skill do you want to learn? How much time are you willing to devote to it? If you set a clear goal, for example, to learn to make homemade jewelry in 3 months, studying 2 hours a week, you turn your desire into a concrete plan, not a vague dream. So how do you apply this technique? First, think about what you really want. Write down your goals clearly and visualize as if you have already achieved them. It is not just a matter of wanting, but believing that you have already achieved your goal. Clarity of purpose is the key to making the law of attraction work. As Seneca said, "A man who does not know where he is going will never reach his goal." Define your goals clearly so that the universe can respond with the same precision with which you express your intentions. Belief and conviction. Imagine your dreams are high peaks that seem unattainable, as if you are trying to conquer them without the necessary equipment. The whole point is that faith and belief are like the tools you need to climb successfully. Without them, it's like you're trying to climb without even a rope. Your dreams require faith to stay alive, like a plant needing sunlight to grow. The law of attraction reminds us that faith is a basic element along the way. If you don't believe in your dreams, it's like trying to catch the wind in the palm of your hand, or looking for a star without knowing how to reach it. Lack of belief is the most serious barrier to achieving what you want. You don't need magical powers to turn negative beliefs into positive ones. Look for inspiration in the stories of those who have overcome challenges to achieve their goals. For example, think of the famous artist Van Gogh, who, despite all the difficulties and misunderstandings, continued to believe in his art. It is because of this that his works became world famous. Environment is also of great importance. If you have people around you who believe in your abilities, it is like a team of loyal friends supporting you in the most difficult situations. Think of your dreams as a ship that needs a tailwind. The support of friends and like-minded people is the wind that keeps you moving forward. Keep an optimistic attitude. Life can be unpredictable, but with a positive mindset, every challenge becomes a step towards your goals. Stoic philosophy teaches us to accept what we can't change and to focus on how we respond to circumstances. As Marcus Aurelius said, happiness depends on the inner state, not on external circumstances. When faced with difficulties, courageously turn doubt into determination. Your faith and beliefs are the keys that open the doors to your dreams. By surrounding yourself with supportive people and keeping a positive attitude, you will be surprised how close you are to realizing your desires. It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that makes the difference. So don't forget that faith is not just a word, but a powerful tool that can change your path. Gratitude and appreciation. Have you ever wondered why gratitude is heard so often, from lectures to social media posts? It's as if the universe is trying to get the message out to us. Appreciate what you have, and more good things will come into your life. We don't always get exactly what we want, but we can make sure we get what we really need. Let's look deeper into this topic. Expressing gratitude may seem like a simple gesture, like nodding your head. But when you say thank you sincerely, it can produce amazing results. Imagine you find yourself at an art exhibit. You might pass by an artist who has been working on his piece and ignore it, or you might stop and sincerely praise his work. In return, he or she may share with you the story of the painting's creation, or even offer you a unique opportunity to participate in a master class. This is how the power of gratitude works. Your kind words can open doors you never dreamed of. Gratitude isn't just complaining that the rain is interfering with your walk. It's realizing that every drop can water the earth. If you learn to appreciate even the little things, like fresh air or bright moments with friends, you are sending a clear signal to the universe: I am ready for more. It doesn't take anything complicated to implement this into your life, just a little time to reflect. Take a moment to think about what you already have and give thanks for it. It can be something as simple as a cozy blanket or the smell of baking that fills the house. Keeping a gratitude journal where you write down 3 things you are grateful for each day is like creating a personal treasure trove. Instead of just saying, I'm grateful for my health, say, I appreciate every morning when I can wake up without pain. It's details like these that make gratitude real, and on difficult days, try to find at least one small thing you can appreciate. Maybe you lost your keys, but in that moment, you remembered the kind act of a friend who is always there to help. It's like finding joy in the little things. They don't solve all problems, but they make every day a little brighter. Gratitude is not just a word, it is a powerful tool that can transform your perception of reality. When you appreciate what you already have and express gratitude, your mood lifts and you open doors to new possibilities. So when negative thoughts begin to overwhelm you, remember the things you are grateful for. As Marcus Aurelius said, happiness depends on the inner state, not on external circumstances. Gratitude multiplies joy, and if you can't appreciate what you have, you will never truly enjoy what you get. Power of action. The law of attraction is a popular concept that states that you can achieve anything by simply setting your thoughts to positive. Sounds tempting, doesn't it? But what happens when, despite visualizing the perfect life, you still get stuck in a routine? The reality is that dreams don't magically come true. The key to success is inspired action. But what does that mean in practice? Think of the law of attraction as a game of chess. You can strategize all you want, but if you don't start moving your pieces, the game never starts. Inspired action is that first move that launches your strategy and leads to victory. Let's look at this with some concrete examples. You can't expect to become a culinary master by simply sitting on the couch and dreaming about cooking the perfect dish. To achieve this, you need to practice. Try new recipes, experiment with ingredients, and even attend cooking classes. Inspired action is the step that will allow you not just to dream of delicious food, but to create it. Here are some practical examples. First, take small steps toward your goals. These steps are like seeds that you plant in the ground. Don't expect them to grow into a big tree right away. Consistency is just as important as effort. Second, follow your passions. What inspires you? Perhaps you enjoy photography, so start by taking one photo every day, studying light and composition. Listen to your inner voice and pursue what really matters to you. And most importantly, don't give up. Patience is the foundation of success. Persistence will keep you on the right path. Results don't always appear immediately, but every small step brings you closer to your goal. As the Stoics teach, willpower and perseverance are important aspects of achieving success. The difficulties we experience do not define us, but how we respond to them does, Epictetus said. So the next time you ponder the law of attraction, remember that it's not just about imagining the perfect life, it's about taking the necessary steps to create it. Inspired action is not just a pretty concept. It is the bridge between your dreams and reality. If you want to see change, stop daydreaming for real and start taking action. It's not that hard, it just takes a little effort and patience. Remember that it is not the law of attraction that makes dreams come true, but the actions you take to achieve them. Get rid of self-limitation. Do you ever feel like you are becoming your own obstacle? Not because you're in a bad mood, but because you may be creating obstacles in your own way without realizing it. Self-sabotage is a phenomenon that is much more common than we realize, and it may have affected you too, even if you didn't realize it. Self-sabotage is like a quiet voice that whispers to you that you are not strong enough to handle challenges. This inner monologue can eat away at your confidence. But what if I told you that you are capable of changing this scenario and taking control of your destiny? The first step is to recognize the problem. Pay attention to the thoughts that are limiting you. It's like recognizing cracks in the walls of a house. If not addressed in time, they can lead to serious consequences. Stoic philosophy can help here. We cannot control all external circumstances, but we can control how we react to them. If your mind is in chaos, use Stoic principles to make a positive change. Visualize your mind as an artist's canvas. If you let the dark colors of fear and doubt take up most of the space, they will overshadow the bright colors of your dreams. But if you start adding shades of confidence and determination, you'll be surprised how your life will take on new colors. This process may take time, but each positive step brings you closer to creating a masterpiece. It's also important to work on your self-esteem. Confidence doesn't come from the outside. You have to build it yourself. It's not about seeking the approval of others. It's about believing in your uniqueness and abilities. As Seneca said, a man who does not know where he is going will never reach his goal. Applying these strategies takes effort, but you have the power to change your script. The law of attraction, which suggests that we attract what we think about, will not work if you are stuck in self-sabotage. Overcoming these mental barriers puts you in a better position to achieve your goals. Self-sabotage can be compared to adjusting your GPS. It's not about changing your route, it's about adjusting your coordinates. So if you feel yourself holding yourself back, start making changes today. Change starts in your mind. Exude what you attract. Imagine that you are like a radio that broadcasts its signals into the vastness of space. This may sound a bit unusual, but think about it. The law of attraction, which sometimes seems magical, states that everything in our world is energy. And you, like everything else, are a transmitter, emitting waves that attract to you what you want, or conversely, what you don't want. When you are in a state of gratitude and happiness, your energy rises to the heavens like a bright day illuminating everything around you. It attracts new positive events and moments, filling your life with light. It's like if you toss a colored balloon into the air and it comes back to you with even more brightness. But sometimes there are days when dark thoughts like clouds overshadow the joy. Every one of us experiences these moments. When you are immersed in negativity, your signals become muffled, like a dark melody that can be depressing. The universe, picking up these low frequencies, can plant new reasons for you to be sad. It is as if you are on the wrong wave. Strive to make time for the things that bring you true pleasure. Exercising, reading a book, taking a walk outdoors. These simple pleasures can boost your energy and put you in a positive frame of mind. Don't forget meditation or even a few deep breaths. They help to readjust your internal clock. Stoics like Epictetus teach us, it is not what happens to us, but how we feel about it that determines our destiny. Instead of letting negative emotions run your life, it is important to consciously respond to them. The energy you emit shapes your perception of the world. The universe may not always respond in the way you expect, but maintaining a positive attitude opens new horizons for joy and fulfillment. Remember that what you radiate will eventually come back to you, so choose your thoughts and emotions with wisdom. As Seneca said, "For a long time you have been what you are. Now become what you want to be." Let go of resistance. Each of us has faced moments when an invisible barrier suddenly appears on the threshold of an important step. It is not a physical barrier, but one that you yourself create in your mind. An inner voice whispers, "You will fail," just when you are ready to make the attempt. This resistance is not an overt adversary, but rather a quiet, unnoticeable obstacle that slows your progress and undermines your confidence. It's like running a marathon with your shoelaces untied. You're moving forward, but constantly stumbling. Imagine your life as a vast, vast field full of possibilities to explore. But instead of moving forward freely, we often put up walls every time the urge to do something new arises. This inner resistance can be compared to a guard that tries to protect us from failure, but at the same time prevents us from achieving success. Suppose you want to start a new project. Instead of focusing on the possibilities, you are immersed in fears about possible failures. It's like standing on the edge of a cliff, looking at a boundless ocean of opportunity, but being bound by a rope of fear. Or you strive to get rid of a bad habit, but see only the effort it will require, like carrying a heavy backpack of doubts on your back, trying to climb a steep mountain. To overcome this inner resistance, it's important to first recognize it. Realizing that it exists, like a watchdog following you, allows you to take control. Uncertainty, fear of change, or attachment to the familiar is what stops you. When you realize this, you shouldn't fight it. Just let it be and watch it gradually fade away. Compare your doubts to leaves being carried away by the wind. You see them, but there is no need to catch them. Let them go by focusing on your sincere desires. Focus your energy on what is truly important to you. Imagine that life is a river. Instead of fighting the current, learn to swim with it. Stoic philosophy reminds us of the importance of accepting what is beyond our control and focusing on what we can change. Instead of resisting change, adapt and take action. Instead of fear, think about what you can gain. Resistance keeps you stagnant, whereas acceptance and optimism move you forward. Resistance is like a shadow stealing your energy. To achieve your dreams, you need to get rid of the fears and doubts that are holding you back. Acknowledge them, let them go, and focus on your true aspirations. This way, you not only utilize the law of attraction more effectively, but also open yourself up to new possibilities and flexible thinking. Remember, where there is resistance, there is stagnation, and where there is fluidity, there is growth and success. The art of patience and time. Let's talk about something we all struggle with but don't always fully understand: time. It's an elusive concept that seems fleeting when we're enjoying the moment and stretches on forever when we're waiting. We often dream of a remote control to rewind to the highlights of life, But alas, it's impossible. Instead of fighting the passage of time, let's learn to live in harmony with it. Today we will discuss patience, a virtue that is admirable but difficult to master, like a perfect pie in the oven. If you try to speed up the process by increasing the temperature, you're likely to fail, a crust that's burnt on the outside and a soggy middle. Patience, on the other hand, leads to slow and thorough cooking, allowing each ingredient to meld and reach perfection. Above all, trust is essential. As the Stoics taught us, we cannot control instant results, only our actions. You can choose the highest quality ingredients and study a recipe, but opening the oven every 5 minutes will not speed up the baking process. It's important to remember that patience is the key to success. Another important aspect is to avoid comparisons. Imagine you are participating in a marathon. Each runner has a different route and a different pace. Comparing yourself to others is like running while looking around instead of forward. It's distracting and takes you away from your goal. Instead of worrying about who is ahead or behind, focus on each step you take. Every kilometer traveled is already an accomplishment that deserves recognition. Small successes may seem insignificant, but each step brings you closer to your goal. It's easy to underestimate such small accomplishments, but they are the ones that make all the difference in the long run. It's like the sparks that start a big fire. One spark may seem insignificant, but together they create a flame. In the context of the law of attraction, it's important to realize that it's not just about positive thinking, but also about action. Positive thinking and constant steps forward are the real drivers of change. Dream big, but act with patience and persistence. Time is not an enemy, but an ally that helps you build your dreams firmly and thoroughly. Patience is not just waiting. It's like planting a tree. You don't expect it to grow overnight, but you water and care for it every day, knowing that in time it will grow strong and tall. Focus on your efforts, celebrate every little success, and remember that the real magic is in the process, not the rush. As Seneca said, nothing happens to him who takes his time. Wait with a peaceful mind, and remember that every second counts, in the making of your cake, in the race of life, and in the growth of your dreams. Take your time, trust the process, and let time do its thing. Get rid of the idea that the universe is against you. Sometimes it feels like the world is working against us. You lose your keys at the worst possible time, the bus leaves a few seconds early, and your phone runs out of battery at a critical moment. It's easy to think that the universe is testing you, but what if it's not? Our perception of the situation can change, and I'll tell you how. Imagine that life is a journey along a winding road. Along the way, there may be unexpected detours and delays in traffic. It's not about fighting the road, it's about learning to enjoy the ride, even when difficulties arise. Even when it feels like you're lost, the universe is still leading you in the right direction. You just need to adjust your focus a bit to establish harmony with the world around you. There are a few simple practices that can help. Let's start with a mindful pause. Pause for a moment and look around you as if you were reading a map to find your direction. Feel the wind on your face, listen to the sounds of nature, breathe in the fresh air. These simple actions allow you to come back to the present moment and reset your inner compass. Another way to tune in is to practice mindfulness. It can be compared to tuning your radio to clear out interference. When you are completely focused on the present, without distractions, it is easier to pick up signals from the universe. For example, when you're preparing a meal, instead of rushing around and thinking about the next thing to do, pay attention to the sound of the ingredients being chopped, the aroma that's coming out, the vibrant colors of the vegetables. Each moment helps you stay in the present and improves your connection to your surroundings. It's also worth paying attention to the power of visualization. Imagine that you have an inner beacon that points your way. Visualize your goals as if they have already been achieved. You are lighting this beacon, sending a clear signal to the universe about your intentions. This is not just a mental exercise. It's like programming your internal GPS to your desired destination. Practicing gratitude fills you with positive energy and affects the atmosphere around you, creating a warmer and more open environment. Stoic philosophy reminds us that while we cannot control all events, we have the power to choose our response to them. Instead of seeing difficulties as enemies, look at them as lessons or detours that can guide you toward unexpected but rewarding goals. Living in alignment with the universe doesn't mean everything will be perfect, but it does mean that you will find inner peace in your journey. So the next time things don't seem to be going your way, remember, you're not at war with the universe, you're participating in the journey. Learn to appreciate every detour and every unexpected stop, trusting that every turn has its own meaning. The universe is not an obstacle, but a guide on this great journey called life. Relax, enjoy the scenery, and let the road take you where you are meant to go. If you sincerely desire something, let it go. Give yourself the opportunity to release the tension and expectation. When you stop clenching your dreams in your fist, you begin to see new possibilities and paths that can lead to what you want. Bring this into your life by filling your heart with gratitude and trust in the universe. Let each day be a step for you toward inner peace and openness to the world. Remember that your desires are not just goals, but pieces of your soul waiting to be manifested. Open yourself to new possibilities and trust the process. Thank you for staying with us to the end. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and share this video with someone who will care. Write in the comments whether it was useful for you, what you are ready to apply today to start attracting what you want. I wish you to find harmony and joy in every moment. Let your desires become a reality, and the path to them will be full of inspiration and wonder.